Your life does not begin with a cry, but with a silent step. The road north, Gaul, 58 years before the birth of Christ. The smell of dust, sweat, olive oil, and leather. You did not choose this service. It chose you when a centurion in your town knocked on your door with the shaft of his pilum. You are the son of a shopkeeper from Ariminum. But to the Republic, you are no longer a citizen, you are a number in the ranks. Your term is 25 years, it seems an eternity. But this is not slavery, this is your chance. For what flows in your veins is not the blood of a patrician, but the iron will of the Quirites. Your father sold fabrics, his father too. Your cradle was a narrow alley, your world was the size of a shop. And now, in this endless column, your new pulse begins to beat. Your destiny, you are not here to conquer the world. You are here to carry it on your shoulders. Your first day is not on a battlefield, but on the parade ground of the Legionary camp. Like a city sprung up overnight, a ditch, a rampart, a palisade, streets of tents. Your new father is Centurion Lucius Vero, a face like old oak, scars, wrinkles, and eyes that see right through you. He strikes your shield scuttum with his vinia, his vine-wood staff. This is your mother, this is your wife, this is your life. Lose it and you die. Your new brothers are fellow recruits, Italian peasants, fishermen, townsmen. They look at you, gauging who you will be in the line of support or a weak link. There is no place for individuality here. The individualist dies in the first clash. Your place is in the second row of a maniple of hastity. You are a legionary. You are issued your gear. A mail shirt larica hamata, a helmet cassis, that large rectangular scutum, to peel a heavy and light, and a gladius the short sword, lethal at lunging distance. The weight is nearly 30 kilograms. They teach you not to fight, but to march, 30 kilometers a day in full kit. To build a camp, dig a ditch, carry the stakes for the palisade. Romans conquer with shovels, Vero rasps. Your hands are rubbed raw, your back burns, you hate this pole, this shovel, this dust. But you march, because lagging behind means a flogging. Disobedience means decimation. Your law is discipline, iron, and merciless. Your first trial is not the Gauls, but the road. Crossing the Alps, cold that sears the lungs. Stony paths where every step risks a plunge into an abyss. The wind tries to tear the shield from your grip. You walk, staring at the back of the man ahead. In your ears, only the rhythmic clank of gear and heavy breathing. At a halt, you collapse to the ground and cannot rise. An old princeps, a veteran with graying temples, sits down beside you. Silently, he hands you a crust of bread and a piece of cheese. He says not a word, you eat, and you get up. You passed, you did not break, now you are part of the machine. You endured more than you thought you could. The main life is the march and the camp, day after day. You learn to live in the rhythm of the legion, reveille at dawn, formation, march, fortify the camp, supper of spelt, beans, and posca the sour mix of water and vinegar. Your hands learn to knot tent ropes, sharpen stakes, polish weapons to a shine. You begin to take pride in it. You can raise a wall in 3 hours. You are not just a soldier. You are an engineer, a digger, a sapper, and then, your first battle. Not a pretty formation, but a dirty skirmish with the Helvetii by a river. You form up in the 3 lines, hastily in front. Your heart hammers, your knees shake, from the woods, with a wild roar, pour huge, red-haired barbarians. Pila, release, the command rings out. Your arm moves of its own accord, a forest of heavy javelins rises into the sky and crashes down on the enemy's front rank. Gallic shields are pierced, their line falters. Hastily, forward, you take a step, another step. And you collide with him, the smell of alien sweat, wild hair, fermented beer. He swings a long sword, your scutum takes the blow, the wood cracks. And your gladius hand, as if on its own, makes a short, sharp thrust under his shield. Steel meets resistance, then sinks into something soft. You don't see his face, you only see his neck as he falls. The next one is already before you. You are not a hero, you are a cog in the shield wall. You strike, defend, step forward on command. The hell lasts 10 minutes, then the enemy breaks and runs. You stand leaning on your shield, breathing heavily. You feel no triumph, you feel only an icy void and an aching fatigue. You killed a man, you survived. Now you are a warrior. Years pass, you are no longer a haste status. You are a princeps, an experienced fighter of the second line. Your scutum is notched with marks, your gladius has had its hilt replaced 3 times. You have marched with Caesar through all of Gaul, seen the horror of the Germanic forests and the wealth of cities. Your test is not in battle, but in betrayal. In the winter of 54, the Eburones rise. Several camps are annihilated. Panic, rumors that Caesar has abandoned the army. Centurion Varro gathers your century. Legionaries, his voice is hoarse but firm. We can grumble, we can run, or we can remember who we are. We are the 10th Legion, Caesar's hammer. Our honor lies in discipline. Our strength lies in trust, in the man beside you. In your centurion, in the proconsul. He does not ask, he states a fact, and you believe him. You do not run, you hold the line. You survive. Your loyalty is not to the aristocrat general, but to your centurion and the man next to you. It is stronger than fear, and then the climax. 50 to BC, the siege of Alesia, the great revolt of Vercingetorix. You are the besiegers who are themselves besieged. Trapped between 2 walls, hunger, filth, constant sallies. And then the day when all the cavalry of Gaul falls upon your fortifications from the outside. It is the end, but Caesar appears on horseback, in a purple cloak, where the fighting is thickest. And Labienus, his legate, leads you, the Principes, in a counter-charge. You burst from behind the wall not in formation, but as a frenzied meat grinder. You fight now not as a cog, but as a master. Your gladius finds gaps in armor, your shield strikes like a battering ram. You drive them back, you win. In that moment, you understand you are not just wearing a mail shirt. You are wearing civilization, brutal, iron, but bringing law, roads, and order. And you are proud of it, but there is no paradise for a legionary. Against former comrades who serve Pompey. The Battle of Pharsalus, the most terrible fight of your life. You clash with men who speak your language, pray to your gods. You spilled a brother's blood. For the ambition of your commander, your iron law has cracked, your term ends. You are given a plot of land in Gaul, next to a former enemy. You remove your mail shirt for the last time. Your back is bent, your body a collection of old wounds. But at night, you dream not of the battlefield, but of a sound. The hammering of stakes into the palisade, the shouts of the centurions, and the measured, crushing step of the legion. Your law was simple: trust the shield to your left, obey the centurion. Protect the eagle, die before you break the line. And now deconstructing the myth, the reality of Caesar's legionary. Fact 1. Not a superman, but an engineer. The legionary's main strength lay not in personal valor, but in discipline, training, and the ability to build fortifications rapidly. Fact 2. Gear and endurance. A forced march of 30 kilometers in 5 hours in full kit, 25 to 30 kilograms, was the norm. Fact 3. Tactics: the shield wall. Battle was not chaotic slaughter, but the work of a tuned mechanism: 3 lines, rotation of tired troops, cohort maneuvers. The scutum and gladius were perfect weapons for formation fighting. Fact 4. Motivation, not just fear, and discipline. The legionary served for solid pay, a share of plunder, and a guaranteed land grant after 25 years. It was a career path for the poor. Fact 5. The price of empire. The legionary was both its spearpoint and its victim. He carried the Roman peace pax Romana on the tip of his sword, paying for it with decades away from home, wounds, and the trauma of civil wars. This life is over, you are old, and your bones ache with the weather. But when you close your eyes, you hear it again, the measured, crushing step of the legion. It is the sound of your youth, and the sound of the civilization you built and broke.